So this one was right after they get into New Hong Kong or whatever that bird clave is, and it sort of like jumps as far as where they are. So it goes from that back to the Black Sun.
And the Black Sun, what is it? What is it? Forget what he does there.
So it starts with like him sort of just thinking, right? And he's talking about how it's kind of rude to just wonder like about what happened to David. Like it doesn't what? Oh, it doesn't seem polite to hang around and gawk over the fact that
Oh yeah.
David's computer crashed. Then he shrugs, turns back in the direction of the Rockstar quadrant, and he still wants to see Sushi K's hairdo.
Oh yeah, Sushi
Do
K,
we
that
get
guy.
to see CPK hairdo?
He does get to see Sushi K's hairdo. And we also get to hear Sushi K rap.
We do.
What was it? He said something about it being as big as like a fucking galaxy or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Nice.
I still thought it was funny that the whole chapter just starts with him going like, "Well, my buddy's computer crashed. He just got kicked out of his palace." Sort of like
Yeah.
watching it's like watching Steve Jobs like crash on his computer in real time, except even more public, even more embarrassing. Um, and then he gets into a sword fight with a random Japanese businessman who thinks it's very dishonorable for him to be carrying around swords.
He says, "What is this guy gonna do? Cut his watermelon with that thing?"
Yep. Pretty much.
That was my favorite scene so far in the entire book. The fight
I
scene.
mean, we had a great pun at the end of it. Didn't anyone tell you, he says, losing the dialect, that I was a hacker? Then he hacks the guy's head off.
That is cool. I like how he describes what happens to the body after it dies. He chops it up and it goes to the pit.
Where the computer files have to clean it up, and there's just like a really punishing respawn. So the idea, I think he was saying, was that in the metaverse, no one was like when they made it, they weren't thinking about people like going around killing each other. It was supposed to be like a giant chat room, but turns out it's a chat room where you can just like chop a guy's head off.
Yeah, he said there would be bodies everywhere.
Yeah. And then when his body's all in pieces, he can't log back in because the computer apparently can't handle despawning and respawning. So it's like the shittiest video game ever.
Super advanced. It can layer the entire fucking video on your eyeballs. It can't handle more than 3 gigs of RAM.
No, it's better than that. It's super advanced. It makes it annoying for you on purpose.
Oh,
You died in the computer. It's a feature.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
He's a
he's
number one
Steve
sword
Jobs.
guy too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
Which
it
one?
is. Cap said he's the number one sword guy too.
Oh, yep. He proves that he is the number one sword guy.
Because of the leaderboard and whatnot.
Yeah.
That too, yeah.
It says only
think that was
890
enough.
people participated. That's kind of low in my opinion.
Well, the population's really small too to begin with.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it those people? How many he fought, or was that total fights? I wasn't sure if it was that's how many he put down or not. So I don't recall. That is a small number, like you said, for like 6 million people or something.
It says he is currently ranked 863 of 890 of people who have ever participated in a sword fight in the Black Sun. So only 890 people have participated.
But it's just in the Black Sun. So the Black Sun in this one is like an exclusive member club. There's that part of it.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
Makes a bit more sense then. Yep.
Murder, 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 murder.
I mean, it's
That's
not
about
murder. He's alive.
Yeah, he's sitting in his office or wherever overtook you.
Yeah, there's no if you die in the game, you die in real life. It's not Sword Art Online. It's not Spy Kids 3D.
Oh, thanks for the spoiler about Sword Art.
What? No, that was like the That was the pilot, and it was a terrible show. You're welcome.
Oh, it's very popular. I thought.
Yeah, it is. It's still terrible.
Oh.
These things are not mutually exclusive.
That's true. Yeah.
I didn't get. That was like most of chapter 11. Anything else that you guys picked up out of that one?
Negative. I think we're gonna go through a slow period up until like 40.
I think so. Chapter 12 is the robot guard dog. So it's like told from the perspective of the guard dog. Apparently they just run super hot, and if they ever just like stand still, they start basically frying themselves.
Yeah, that's the Freon in the doghouse too, right? I believe it's going on all the time.
Yep. Then it's the same thing that Hero and YT call like the rat things. So they're pretty small as far as dogs go, I guess. Like a Yorkie or something.
I think they're pit bulls.
I think
Thought they were.
I
I heard they say they look pit bulls look kind of ratty. I'm not sure. That was my impression.
so.
I got
Does anybody else think it was really disturbing how they started that chapter where um, Hero and YT show up on the lawn of that what's it called?
New Hong
Not
Kong.
Chase. Yeah, New Hong Kong, and then there's like that whole ad and whatnot, and they get scanned, and then the chapter ends as like the other taxi drivers are showing up. But the next, well, maybe not the next chapter, but like the next excerpt feels like an entire different change. But then you realize that these dogs, quote unquote, are the fucking drones, and they have like this certain level of consciousness to them, or at least the way they operate, making them like super naive and almost innocent, but they're also like murder machines because of how like they punch holes through people's bodies and shit.
Yeah, they're just like cutesy, innocent. They're also like cyborg dogs when they're talking about them because Hero's explaining that part to YT, and YT has her wonderful little petting the dog moment.
Hey, where are the white
Good
women at?
doggy. Good doggy. God fucking damn it, dude.
Oh boy, here we go. We'll have to get-
Uh,
So she saves the dog. So I think the dog feels like they're gonna have a form of connection. 'Cause they're
is
so innocent, like real dogs have to do with people.
that the impression
This
you
hunt
got
will
with
be
that one?
relevant later.
Yeah. Because she took the risk to go ahead and pick him up.
She picked him up so he could start running again, right? So he didn't fry.
Well, yeah, and she put him inside so he can cool down, and that's when we got that whole Mr. Lee's the introduction inside of the doghouse.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a cyberpunk story, so I'm gonna say that this dog recognizes her later and then is like told to kill her, and he thinks about not doing it, but then still does it anyways because it's a cyberpunk story. That's my theory.
Okay.
Because there are no fucking happy endings in cyberpunk stories.
I mean, there are.
Hey, don't
Just
spoil it for
usually
me.
involve you getting out of everything.
I've never read Cyberpunk, so we'll see if that holds true.
You never saw The
Cyberpunk,
Matrix?
Oh,
The
okay.
either
genre.
die on your own terms or the machine wins.
Yeah,
Matrix
machine
doesn't count.
wins. Yep. No, Matrix counts.
Does it actually count?
Yeah,
Interesting.
Matrix cyberpunk as hell.
Would you say cyberpunk in general is like man versus world?
Probably.
Man versus machine, a combination of those. So there's those different like
You
can't
niggas
remember what
didn't
they're
like
called.
my Larry the Cable Guy joke, motherfucker?
We're talking about something else, dude. But
Can't hear you,
anyways,
man.
there's the something. What was it? Man versus man, man versus God, man versus nature, and so on and so forth. I can't remember all of them, but I'm pretty sure cyberpunk in general probably clarifies itself as man versus world or man versus technology. I can't remember.
I
Sure,
think
you
you
can have
can
all of them, but
configure it
it's
in the
usually world,
menu in the
self, and
character creation to be man
it's
versus
man, world, and
female
self. I think
and
as the three
females.
ones, but
Also trannies
it's like that's basically like story
and
structure, not
trannies.
necessarily themes and things
How
like
big
that.
did you when you was playing
Cyberpunk goes
Cyberpunk?
more into
How big did you set your
what does it
dick
mean to be
size to be?
human, technology, and how that affects just everyday living and life.
Did you choose
Um,
small, medium, or large?
Sentience of different robot things. Uplifting is usually a big one as far as like Planet of the Apes.
Sounds like some commie
Yeah.
gobbledygook.
Um,
Yeah. Other than that, I don't remember anything else that I actually read in the book so far. I remember the introduction to the
The wish a
New
nigga
Hong
was?
Kong, and that's about it.
yeah.
That's as far as I remember. And then like
That's
him
the end of
also
it.
killing.
Right? The end of it is the Hong Kong, I believe.
The
Was that
Hong
right?
Kong?
I think that was
You
the end of
chose
it.
large. You chose large.
So it was the
Thank God. I was booting up my computer to mute him because I can't do it on my phone, but you know.
no, I thought I did it.
We do it individually. On
Oh,
but yeah, on the I can't do it on the phone either.
oh no. I just hit the ellipsis and I hit mute. I thought I was doing it for everyone. Sorry.
That's fine because you were like talking over him, and he was talking at the same exact fucking time, and I was like, man, I'm like 2 seconds from just backing out of this fucking call, but I decided to boot up my computer, and it's on now, but I'm like actively cooking right now, so I can't just like go over there to
Gotcha.
do a response to somebody being in a nuisance. But anyways, what came after the dog interactions? Because I don't think there's anything else that I remember actually.
Chapter 11 was, I think it's the first time we hear, or chapter 12, sorry. It's the first time we hear YT's age, I think. So she says that she's 15.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I do remember that. And I am very fucking uncomfortable with like the mentality of that character in her describing of like thinking about Hero and saying that he's probably not that type of guy that would want to fool around with a 15-year-old anyway, and she'd have to take out the dentata, which I'm pretty sure is in reference to like some part of, like pussy cage thing with teeth because of that one movie.
Yep.
But yeah, I remember that part, and I was very, very fucking uncomfortable with that because isn't Hero like damn near 30?
Has to be.
Yeah, 31, I think, or something like that. Low 30s.
She was much younger than I thought she'd be. I thought she was like 20. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what I got for her.
that's fucking gross.
Oh, but wait to hear some more stuff. She says she's a little pervert.
Damn.
Besides what she already said.
Sounds about right from a skateboard courier.
Yes. Yeah. Did we meet her boyfriend yet? Rat or
We
whatever his
did.
name is? Okay.
It was something meat, right? It was, she called him when she was in the prison, and he was saying, like, I got a high priority delivery, and I can't help you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Um,
And then Hero showed up and helped her out and whatnot, and then made an agreement to work with her.
yeah,
Like
so they make like they become business partners.
Yeah.
I don't know, so there's literal YT petting the dog moment, which is very cute, very nice. And then we also know that YT has an interesting relationship with her mom, where her mom does not know that she's a courier.
Oh yeah.
As far as she's
Yeah,
concerned, she's just a sweet little 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, hid her fucking skirt and stockings and shit inside of one of those drop down ceilings.
In a McDonald's, yeah.
And McDonald's, yes.
I kind of assumed that when she called her mom and refused to say she was in jail. But that is a good that is a good part to put it in the McDonald's thing. That's really neat.
I think the sweet part with that one is like when they're
So
when YT like calls her mom in the prison, right? She's talking about how like I'm hanging out with my friends, I'm gonna stay over, all that, and there's that typical like thing of is it a negligent parent or is it like a parent that Like usually it's like the negligent parent thing, but this one seems more like a parent that really cares that just like can't. In YT's mom's case, it's that she works for the feds, so the U.S. government exists, and apparently, because of government efficiency, in the Snowcrash future, the feds are constantly polygraphing their employees to make sure that they're not lying.
Yeah. I'd not surprising.
No, not in their dystopian future.
It's pretty nuts too, because like the thing that YT points out is that her mom's got like a giant bruise on her arm for where they keep a blood pressure cuff whenever they're doing their interrogations.
Oh yeah. Is that what that was? So she wears that shit like all day?
It doesn't seem like it's all day. It seems like it's a regular thing though, whether it's weekly or monthly or whatever. It's what is. Because she
Scary.
talked about that a little bit with Enzo.
Yeah. She had to do it every day for 30 days at one time. She was saying too, with when she was talking to Enzo, because something happened with one of her coworkers. I forget exactly why. You might remember some kind of mix-up, and that she ended up having to do it every day.
Horrifying.
Security. I mean, it's
Also,
like that. It's against the world.
the author still thinks that polygraphs work.
Who?
That's cute. Huh?
Yeah.
Stevenson.
Was there ever a time where it was like I thought it was universally accepted for a while that polygraphs are fucking, tested, tried and true because they used them in court for, and I'm pretty sure they still do, don't they?
I'm pretty sure they still use them, and I'm pretty sure most people, or at least I would hope, most people are aware that polygraphs are fucking worthless.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you think they are in regular normies?
What, that normies believe in lie detector tests?
Well, that they would. The blood pressure. Like they might get scared if they say the wrong thing or lie, or the pressure might go up if they do lie.
So that's the idea, right? If you're nervous, if
Yeah.
you're lying or something
Yeah.
like that, they can sort of see that you're changing as far as your heart rate, your blood pressure, things like that. But there was also that one story where like they hooked up a polygraph to like a plant, and the plant was spiking all over the place. So the conclusion was that whatever plant it was is a horrific liar. Because of course that's how that works, right?
Goddamn plants.
Yeah, I can imagine them still using tests like that. They just seem so terrible to me. I don't get that.
I mean, there was that one video where they hooked Brett Cooper up to a polygraph and they asked her dumb questions like, "Do you think Black Lives Matter?" I didn't even watch that one. I just saw the thumbnail.
Oh, I watched it.
shit.
It was great. Such a great one.
That was what she did with Candace, I believe.
Did they?
I think they. If I'm mistaken,
Yeah.
Captain.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
her and Candace. But it's I forget the exact question, but you already know. Like halfway through, they asked her some question like, "Who's your sister?" I forget the exact question. It was something like, "You don't lie. You don't need to lie about." And it's like she was lying. And they just laughed about it, but that just immediately told me that entire test is not. There's no point to do it. It's a garbage test.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have watched any of the Schlatt's videos on YouTube. That guy who's like known for being doing like a New York shtick where he says "fuck you" a lot and whatnot, and he has like the big old mutton chops. There's one video where he got hooked up to a whole thing with like electrodes and a cuff, and it seemed like it went a little bit further than just a typical. Uh, I can't remember what they're called, but those lie detector tests. There was a guy sitting behind a computer and whatnot, and he had gotten away with absolutely nothing, even though he did try to lie several times. And that was the day the world found out that his middle name was Jared or some shit because he lied about it.
Not sure. I don't think I saw that one. I don't think I'm familiar with the channel.
That's right. Hold on, let me see if I can find something about this.
I know when I was younger, they always told you about we thought it worked back in the day that you put like a thumbtack in your shoe and press it every time you ask a question. So even if you got it right or wrong, you're gonna feel the pain, and they wouldn't know.
It's probably one. It's probably one way to make it like a consistent spike.
I think it's from an anime too. I have a cartoon from back in the days. I don't fucking remember. Jeez, it was like 1930s, so I don't know.
1930s. So is it like Popeye?
No, I was like saying when I watched it, I was a kid in 1930s. But never mind. It was a terrible joke.
It's all right.
Oh, Popeye came out. The Popeye, the Butcher Man, or something like that, just came out.
Popeye
The
the
movie.
Sailor Man.
Yeah,
did it?
it turned him into a killer.
Oh, I guess he's public domain now. Okay. Why
Yeah,
would
yeah.
they do that to Popeye? Popeye stops them. Popeye's like,
He's been public domain for quite a while, hasn't he?
Yes, I think so. Like with Winnie the Poohs and stuff.
well,
I
Winnie
mean,
the Pooh was recent. That was the Blood Honey movie.
yeah.
Bring forward the shitty horror movies.
Well, that's what it is. That's part of the universe of that universe. The Popeye horror movie.
Yep. Popeye is in public domain this year, 25.
Oh shit. Okay.
When was he created? Back in like the
29.
30s?
29. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a close guess.
He lasted longer than Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. It was like last year.
Mickey Mouse is public domain. I thought Disney were.
I believe it was.
Joke.
Yeah, because
I remember the
we were allowed to
joke
make
was like,
memes.
I was gonna say, I
Maybe
remember
it's
the joke
Cable and
was
Willie.
every time Mickey is about to enter public domain, the public domain laws change.
I was going to ask that, like, how many times do you think Disney themselves specifically have lobbied to have that shit extended?
Enough.
Yeah, enough.
A lot. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, chapter 12 basically ends with YT and Hero becoming business partners.
Okay. Budding relationship.
On to 13 or anything else for 12?
Let's do it.
All right. So 13, this is where they start talking about like the mechanics of the game of the metaverse, of like how you die and respawn and how you can't sign in if your avatar's fucked up. So this one feels like, yeah, just worst video game mechanics ever.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't it
thoroughly
like black
unfun.
like black, all dressed black, like taking the body and disappearing?
So that's like the demons, which are the like sort of software janitors, which also seems terribly inefficient.
Yeah, right. I thought it would have been funny if the body kind of like melted into the floor. That would have been a
I mean,
cool
he drops like a Looney Tunes suitcase on him, or a safe.
design.
Oh, that's right. That's after he killed the Asian dude, right?
Yeah, the Japanese businessman.
Yeah.
And then after Hero's sword fight, he like, it sort of flashes back to his store it all apartment. So he's standing there, I guess, in his living room, sort of how you'd imagine like someone with a VR headset, and he's got his sword in one hand, and his roommate Vitaly looks at him and is like, "Did you win your sword fight?" So I was thinking with this one of like all of those stories of people who've like chucked their Wiimote into their television.
Oh yeah.
So you're just imagining this guy standing in the middle of his living room, again in a store it all. He's got his sword on. And of course he was swinging this thing around because, you had to have your sword fight. And that's just how the physics of the game work.
And things fucking sharp as fuck.
Of course.
Vitaly's cool. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, good roommate. And then what's their exchange? Did you win your sword fight? Of course I won the fucking sword fight, Hero says. I'm the greatest sword fighter in the world. And you wrote the software. Yeah, that too. There's an implication there. It's like, so you cheated.
He knows all the rules.
He gave himself bullet time. I don't know.
What do they do after? I mean, what's the next adventure in this chapter? I wish I had the book, like the actual book. It's a good idea. Good
They
reference.
they talk a little bit about the Tower of Babel, and
Interesting.
like the meaning of it there. So the line I picked out from that one was Juanita believes that nothing is provably true or provably false in the Bible because if it's provably false, then the Bible is a lie, and if it's provably true, then the existence of God is proven. Then there's no room for faith. That's the question of like,
Good line.
Yeah.
So he's talking to the librarian then, huh?
Yes, he's talking with the librarian, which is
Largos?
the only piece of CIC software that costs even more than Earth. Huh.
Yeah, the Earth that he showed up and found at his house inside there. Yeah.
That's one of those dumb Kanye West lines. How much does the Earth cost?
What?
Yeah.
What? Kanye's actually said that?
Yeah, it's a great Kanye West line. Gay
Oh.
fish genius. I'm sorry, Ye, the artist formerly known as Kanye.
Yeah.
Can't be disrespectful.
How dare you?
I know, right?
Got dead name.
Can't do that. We're better here.
He also goes through like 2 pages describing that the tower's like making sure the tower's not knocked down, which I thought was interesting. Like 3 different times he's like, so the tower wasn't knocked down, it's still there. So that's very interesting. He's very focused on the tower still being there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good pickup. And then we found out that it's not actual like it doesn't go up to the heavens because it just has the writings on the roof of it
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
symbolizes it.
But of course, this is the librarian, and the librarian doesn't report anything. It's basically like it's a search engine AI. It tells you what's around.
It's ChatGPT.
He's asked. Yeah, well, I was gonna say Ask Jeeves. That's what I got. I thought of. If you're old enough to remember Ask Jeeves.
Unfortunately, yes.
I was hot for a minute.
I think it was first, right? It was Ask Jeeves, and then Yahoo and Google came out around the same time.
Yeah, I was up there. Or that or Yahoo first, or AOL, and then Ask Jeeves. It was very early, yeah. And I just have side note. I seen an actual commercial today for the duck one. What's that one called?
DuckDuckGo.
Duck. Just a search site.
Yeah, DuckDuckGo. That's the
Okay, yeah.
one. That's what Brave uses, right?
Oh, I always call it the Brave browser. I didn't know it was DuckDuckGo.
I could be wrong on that.
Just says Brave, I think, in front of me. But yeah, I literally seen a commercial today, and I was like, "Holy fuck, these guys are still around." Let me go to my homepage. Let me see what we got. I use Brave. It just shows the Brave Tiger. Let me do a
Okay.
search.
I don't use either of these things. I use Google because I don't know, I'm a simp for big tech.
Yeah, I only use this because it's the default here on my computer. But anyways, yes, Babel. We learned too much about fucking talking in language, and we're gonna learn a lot more and a lot more and a lot more about it. Him and the librarian spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, and then Hero decides that he's tired of living in a store at all, so he wants to do the trendy 2010s thing, and he wants to go live in a van. So they get in their VW van again.
Wait, what? Did I miss that? He's living. He's moved to the van.
Yeah, he's I don't know if he moved to the van, but he's tired of sitting around in the store at all, so he goes in a van. He decides
Okay.
to be a.
Oh,
Okay, so I know the mean word is homeless, but what the hell is the word for the people that want to live in a
unhoused.
car again?
Unhoused. He's unhoused. He's car lived.
Car life, van life.
Van life,
It was
yeah.
van life. That's what it
There you
was.
go.
I should know this. I was considering doing that for a little. I was like,
Oh, no.
that sounds really fun.
Don't get consumed with that. They're lying to you.
Yeah, they are, bro. You're 100% right. They are lying to you.
I saw this cool statistic, and it's like 85% of people that buy tiny homes end up moving out the next year. That's great. It's so funny. It's like
Oh, I haven't heard that one. That's
What
that's
the fuck?
pretty good.
I mean, they're great for 5K, but you can't. It's like a loft almost, but probably smaller.
I mean, if
No storage, nothing.
bingo, if it was like on my own property with like 10 acres, absolutely. But they're buying them like next to each other. They got no acres. It's like
Oh,
in the city. It's like no, that's
brutal.
terrible.
Yeah.
And South Park was making fun of him a few seasons ago. It's a great one. It's like my family decided to be ecologically conscious, and we lived in a tiny home. Like, no, that's called a trailer. Like, no, we live in a community of a bunch of tiny homes, and that's called a trailer park.
Yeah, but forget about a double wide. You know what I mean? You got some room in a double wide. You need like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath double wide with a big kitchen. I've seen. I mean, I'm from the woods. Folks have made some nice trailers around here.
Some of them don't even look like trailers. Like you have to really know it's a trailer sometimes. They can put stone foundations under them and it doesn't even look like
Oh
it's a
yeah.
trailer. Or
Yep. And they give it a porch and some siding and moldings, and like, oh, that's a real house. Like, nope, it's not. It's made out of plastic.
I don't know. It almost makes the store all sound nice.
What was it, 20 by 10? You said? Is that what it was? Okay,
What
so
he
that's like,
lives in?
yeah, what it was, because I feel like that might be where I'm at right now, like a 20 by 10 in this one room.
Oh. I know he definitely said it. I just don't remember how big it
Okay,
was.
okay, but
It was.
it was
It was
okay.
it was like the deluxe store at all, though, which
Yeah.
he was very
Oh yeah,
proud of
'cause
that.
he had like the air and the light hit. The sun actually came in once a day, which is huge, apparently. I understand. Also, the other people, regular people who have like the 5 by 10s, they're the tiny homes folks. Like, but one level. It's a single floor tiny home.
it's a 20 by 30, he said.
Oh, 20 by 30.
Yeah,
Okay, that's even,
found it.
there you go. That's a big loft.
Yeah, but you got two of them in there. It's him and Vitali.
Oh, they have 2 of those units.
No, they don't have two of the units. It's two of them
Okay.
sharing the unit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no privacy. Oh, they use the bathroom. Did we talk about the bathroom yet? Did they go there? Were we at that stage where you had to use the gas station?
I don't think so.
Okay, no. Okay, so he's not working for. Okay, I don't want to spoil anything.
You've spoiled it all. I can't read anymore. I'm done.
We're
Because of the
done.
bathroom.
On to the next
I
book.
can't read it.
Damn it.
Anything else for chapter 13?
No, a lot of talk. Was that might have been a short one too? Because some of these are like 9 minutes, which is super short.
Yeah, they're a lot of these chapters in general are pretty short.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's like a book that I'm currently reading. Besides this, the chapters are like 45 minutes, 30 minutes. And here I'm getting like 9, 15, 8, 12. And I think it's only like a 12-hour listen to, whereas a lot of that, like, it's a good book. Well, hopefully it's a good book when it's like a 23, 24, 25-hour listen. Anyways, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so on to chapter 14. Hero is watching TV, I think. So I'm looking at this now, and I must have missed this when I was reading it the other day. But they're talking about things in like $500, $2,500, $150,000, 20 million. The president He's talking about like donations or what he's spending money on. And that's like 20 million to the archaeology department of the Rifle Bible College, plus 45 million to the astronomy department, 100 million to the computer science department. And then, did these donations take place before hyperinflation? Yes, sir. They were, as the expression goes, real money. So that's a lot.
Yes.
Hey, what up?
Yo.
So, welcome to Snowcrash Book Club.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I was trying to get a summary 14 from Brave, but they didn't give me shit to to get my memory going. But they gave me 13 and 12.
So the one that I picked up out of this one was it's what the hell's his name? The guy wins the auction for the USS Enterprise,
Yes,
formerly of
Bob
the
Riff.
U.S. Navy. Yeah, he
Bob
beats Bob Reif. Oh, no, so Bob Reif wins, and he beats General Jim's Defense and Admiral Bob's Global System. So I'm pretty sure we've heard those names before.
Admiral Bob's Global Systems.
Yep,
That's like your bootleg defense contractor.
that's right.
And
That's
he.
That's
So
the
they give it. Go ahead, RoboCop. Have you ever read the book? Okay. Yeah, and we hear his life story, right, of how Rife, his past is revealed.
I think.
Yeah, through the examination of videotapes and news reports, a hero and librarian uncover Rife's involvement in the creation and control of Snowcrash virus. Oh,
Okay.
I forgot about that part.
Raymond, are you going to be on the show tonight?
Negative, sir. No, it's in 7 minutes. No.
Hey, Raymond, did you get anywhere with them seeing the culture war?
Which not yet. I talked to him, but no response as of currently. No talking personally, but anyway, I don't want. Sorry, I don't mean to derail.
I miss you.
Thank you.
You're going to be there, right?
For the culture war.
Yeah.
I doubt it. I mean, I'll be there.
Well, that's what I mean. You're going to be there. You're going to hang out.
Sure.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, that's Salty. My bad. Hey, Mike. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to derail the conversation. Hi, Salty.
You're good. You're good,
Oh, no,
dog.
yeah. Go ahead, talk. I'm fucking fried. I don't have anything else in my mind. You guys,
Okay.
I'm just hanging out.
Appreciate it. So yeah, we find out what just all it is like. Because we talked to the librarian a lot, though, guys. Spill. No more. I'll keep more fucking talking about. He assists by providing access to historical records and information about Rife. So basically, is that what that is? A lot of Rife going on.
A lot of Rife.
I prefer rife and beans.
Come on.
God damn it. Really? Damn, that didn't hit.
No, we're
not
doing-
rice and beans. Come on, fuck me. All right, just
Stay forever.
disconnect. I'm just gonna disconnect. I knew that wasn't gonna work with a bunch of white people. I think white
I'm
people know what
insulted.
rice and beans are.
Are you making a ricin reference from Breaking Bad?
No, God, no. I was just making a pun.
Rice and beans. It was one
The
of them
bad pun.
old bad Breaking Bad memes.
It's a
Poor
bad
guys aren't
pun.
Hispanic enough.
Yeah, you're not Hispanic enough to understand what rice and beans is. Rice and beans is like true poverty meals. All right, it's like the.
Well, I used to eat rice and beans. I'm a carnivore now, but yeah, I've eaten plenty of rice and beans.
I've actually switched over to eating more
I'm gonna bounce
rice.
you guys.
As,
I'm gonna bounce you guys. We're trying to do something here. If you didn't notice.
oh, damn! All right, thanks, Mod Man.
I
Raymond,
appreciate
these are your fans, man.
They're regular. No, they're nice people. But yeah, I'm just saying, guys. We're watching. We're talking. If you did title us Snow Crash Book Club,
Snowcrash Book Club. Oh, I guess
if you check it out, you like it.
I can't read, so I'll go to voice too. I can't read.
It's all good.
It's okay. Goodbye.
And Taylor's got an Arasaka shirt, so you should be a fan
Oh,
of cyberpunk stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm obsessed. Actually, here, check this out. I don't know if I can get it in there. Okay, I've got the Arasaka logo on one of the fans.
Very nice. I think we're hearing about Rife's story, because if you're just buying a fucking aircraft carrier, bro, that's definitely going to play a part.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go down to voice 2 with Robot.
Right. Cheers.
Later.
If you can, and yeah, that was right. That's when we were talking about that was real money back then. It wasn't, what's before hyperinflation. It was real money.
Yep. So they're talking in numbers that we're more familiar with as far as like what he was buying things for, what he's donating, or all the different things. Because you can imagine that if you're using $1 trillion to bribe yourself out of whatever petty crime, hearing that 20 million to a donation it's either jack shit or you have to be in retrospective.
I believe you
that's
cut
a
off,
big
my
deal.
friend.
Me? Uh-oh.
Oh snap!
Any better?
Can you hear him, Captain, or no, negative?
I can hear both of you, yes.
Okay. I can hear you, Raymond.
Let's go to chat.
And I can hear you, Cap. And Grin's
There you
muted.
go.
Unless
I
Raymond.
am.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I hear both of you. I hear you now, not Captain. Maybe.
You got me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gotcha. And so I was just saying that it's relative to the hyperinflation they're talking about as far as, $1 trillion to bribe yourself out of petty crime versus 20 million to donate to a school.
Yeah. He took the smart move. He just went ahead and, bad to fix his PR. Let me go ahead and do all this and help out the refugees.
Yeah, and if you're trying to think in the terms of a $1 trillion bribe, then you're going like, so what? He gave somebody a quarter? Why is that important?
Oh yeah, especially the old money or what? New money. Yeah. Because it costs freaking that YT to get out of almost get out of jail for $500,000, was it?
700 billion or something like that.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, because I thought they're gonna meet in the middle, and cops said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, that 700 billion was the meet in the middle.
No, it was it $1 trillion?
Yeah, the cop says, "Give me $1 trillion, and I won't.
Oh,
I'll
right.
bring you to the nice jail." And she goes,
Yeah.
750 billion, and they take her to the shitty jail anyway. So yeah, I think I just like entirely blanked on chapter 14 just because of what it was. So it's just like
It was. Yeah, when he was in the library talking about like this nice summary he gave me from Google. Thank you, Google. He was basically he was talking to the librarian and through videotapes and news reports like we mentioned about doing what he's doing, the nice stuff he did after getting nearly in trouble. He became good, and then he actually says it's to uncover his involvement in the creation and control. I forgot all about that of Snowcrash virus. I forgot that he's the guy who's like, "Yo, what's up? This is my shit."
I also got this one that I made a note of. Partly, but that's only a very crude explanation. It really goes a lot deeper than that. You've probably heard the expression that the industry feeds off of biomass, like a whale straining krill from the ocean. And then the reporter that's interviewing him says, "Yes, I've heard that expression." He goes, "That's my expression. I made it up. An expression like that is just like a virus. It's a piece of information, data that spreads from one person to the next." So that's the sort of modern terms like memes are a mind virus. I'm not sure if you guys have heard that one too. Or like memes are memes, like when you share a Pepe.
Yeah.
Or the other one is like memes are like also a this is like the rebuttal of like the leftist meme of like mucho texto, where it's like memes are like a visual zip file where all of the context in it is like things that you understand and you don't need to be like hammered with like everything and to know like what it's talking about.
I can understand that. That makes sense.
And then continuing with the quote, the function of the raft is to bring more biomass to renew America. Most countries are static. All they need to do is keep having babies, but America's like this big old clanking smoking machine that that just lumbers across the landscape, scooping up and eating everything in sight. Leaves behind a trail of garbage a mile wide. Always needs more fuel. Which is a interesting way of looking at the country, but
He kind of nailed it for so far in the past.
yeah, I guess so. We consume a
I think-
lot.
Yeah. Silent House. Holy shit. What a good movie.
All right, I'm
Anyways,
just here for the intellect, guys.
Don't worry, you're not going to find
Appreciate it,
shit here.
Hell yeah.
we're doing just doing some book talk.
Well, I'll listen to about anything.
No bro.
If I got something to put in, I'll put it in. Don't worry.
Sounds good.
You'll
So,
know me
yeah,
by the
life
end of this. No.
Rife is like super, from a football player to being a super, super rich dude now.
Who's that one?
Rife. Bob Rife, the big dog who owns the aircraft carrier now.
That was his son.
Yeah, he started off as a college football player, and then he went into sales. I think car sales, and then insurance or whatever. And now he's like, I know what he's doing now that I listened to all the way up to different chapters. But yeah, now he's just big dog to buy fucking aircraft carrier away from giant defense forces.
Academic scholarship, walked onto the football team. Rife majored in communications. Jesus Christ, I hate this book. He became a television sports reporter in the Houston market, and then from there he goes on to bigger and better things, newspapers and philanthropist.
What's the title of this book called?
This is Snowcrash, Neil Stevenson.
By Neil Stevenson. Snowcrash by Neil Stevenson.
I've been trying to find some kind of. It takes a very, very, very interesting book to get my attention to actually sit and read. I literally have not sat and read a book from front to back page in since middle school. So, like I said, it takes a very interesting book. So I've been looking for options. So, yeah, keep talking.
Yeah, maybe you might like it. Maybe you might like our storyline.
Yeah, Raymond, anything else for chapter 14?
No, sir. I believe covered it all. We know who Bob Rife is and what he's doing now.
Seems like the very important part that we should keep in mind.
Yes.
On to chapter 15. We get to go to the concert YT wants to go to.
With
the band Blunt Force Trauma. And
it's hoping that the other guy comes. What's his name? Asian dude.
Oh, well, that's Sushi K. Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying he hopes Sushi K. If he gets there, he's definitely going to get a chance to be on stage.
Yeah. So this isn't where Sushi K starts rapping yet.
No, it's end of the chapter, right? Or no? We're not there
not
yet.
15. No, not yet.
Okay.
So 15 brings up the idea of who the gargoyles are. So these are the people who are filling the library with just shit. They record everything. So this is like the meme of the God, why am I? It's not HSA.
CIC?
No, real world. I'm talking about the
CIA, NSA.
NSA. Yeah, where they have like so much data, they have no idea how to find anything. There's more noise than there is, there's more sound than noise, so they can't find anything because there's just too much shit to go digging through, or too much hay, not enough needles.
It says they wear the computers on their body.
Yep, they wear computers on their body. They record everything. They upload everything, and because of them, the library is full of garbage.
Yeah. They're a bunch of I don't know how can we compare them to today's world.
They're the people that watch a sunset with a phone.
or just or they're loading the field with too much shit that useless crap.
Yep.
I don't know who we compare that to right now. Illegal immigrants? I don't know. No, I was joking.
No, I don't think so. But
Yeah.
just the idea of like, what is it? Gargoyles represent the embarrassing side of the Central Intelligence Corporation. Instead of using laptops, they wear their computers on their bodies. So they've got like a big harness of recording everything, filling the light, and they're doing Hero's job, just debatably better, debatably worse.
Very less focused, that's for sure. Not like Heroes is more focus oriented.
Then again, Hero focuses on garbage. So
Works him out. If he gets he'll get that nice movie script. Maybe it'll work out in the end.
yeah. Then we also know about who's providing security. So it's between the Crips and the Enforcers. So the Enforcers we heard about before, they're the ones that walk around with like all the different logo stuff is baseball bats and like sue me and like I don't care. And the Crips I think is literally just like the LA gang, the
Yeah.
blue bandanas and stuff.
But remember, he didn't hire the Crips. They're just
Yeah,
there because they're showing like their force.
They sent a delegation, I think is the way the book says
Yeah.
it exactly. I don't even know what the Crips would be in this sort of world because you'd almost imagine that they would have their own burb-claves, but who knows?
Compton. Well, we didn't. I don't know if they mentioned Compton at all, but I could. I think they're just a gang in general.
Yeah.
That's how I
A gang
picture it.
who's out for hire. Gang for
And
hire.
so are the Enforcers or the other PMCs.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the thugs. What are the badass dudes that he doesn't want to, that you never want to call unless you have to? Because I know there's a third one. I mean, gangs. I'm sure there are Crips around and Bloods, but there was someone. Do you guys remember that name?
I don't think
You
so.
know what I'm talking about, right? He's like, if you really need to get shit done, and you want to call these guys, you don't want to do it, but they're the top-notch team.
Um,
Can't
Oh, yeah.
remember.
I don't
Yeah,
even get
we meet Squeaky too.
we
Sorry to
did.
cut
I
you
mean, we met Squeaky. What I was saying is I don't get the impression that any of these guys are like super like reputable.
Yeah, just thugs for hire.
Yeah. We also meet Lagos, who was
Yeah.
Juanita's contact, and he's one
And
of the gargoyles.
didn't he build a librarian too?
Is that his story? Like he built
I
the
know.
library?
I'm pretty sure he built the model for the librarian because I thought it was Lagos. I think it's Lagos. Because he asked him about how'd you get around, and I'm almost positive. At least that's in my brain. He the whole time he's talking to Lagos, I'm thinking, oh, that's a library. The guy built the library, and that's how he knows who he is ahead of time, right?
Well, Lagos is following Raven.
Well, you know that afterwards because he scanned, and then he scanned everyone, and Hero got the stuff in his eyes, so he had to put the dust up in order to get the laser to see who it was, where it's coming from,
Thing.
so he can pinpoint the laser because he wasn't sure where it came from. He made it a little dusty, and then he's like, "Oh, it's from over there." And then he walked over to him and met him and found out who he was.
Not sure.
I mean, that's also what it says here in summary. But yeah, because he got his eye scanned twice. He's like, "What's going on?" So he did something to put dust in the air, and then he found out. Captain, you recall that?
I'm trying to remember. I'm looking through it.
Okay.
I don't either. I'm calling BS on Google.
I'm not calling BS on myself because I remember that part. He was standing in the crowd and he's like, "Oh, I got scanned." He felt lasers going over his eyes.
I'm sure because like Lagos knows who Hero is, or he finds out pretty fast.
Well, I think he says his name. Yeah, he definitely knows who Hero is if he knows Juanita.
Yeah. Then Hero introduces himself as former hacker, security guard, pizza deliverer, and concert promoter.
Jack of all trades.
Oh no, that's how the gargoyle identifies hero. So
Yeah, I'm sure once he found out who he was, once he scanned him, he's like, okay, I don't know who you are now. So I'm picturing Lagos a guy with, like, kind of like,
autistic.
well, no, not everyone's autistic. The one dude who was there earlier today said I'm autistic. Everyone uses autistic as a tool for being excuse for anything. But he's got like on his legs, he's got some kind of a typewriter. On his other leg, he's got some kind of scanner. He's like almost cyborgy ish
Mm-hmm.
with all the tech on his body. Like a YT has everything on her body too.
The laser that kept jabbing Hero in the eye was shot out of this guy's computer from a peripheral device that sits above his goggles in the middle of his forehead, a long-range retinal scanner. If you turn towards him with your eyes open, the laser shoots out, penetrates your iris, tendrils his sphincters, and scans your retinas. The results are shot back to CIC, which has a database of several tens of millions of scanned retinas. Within seconds, you're in the database. The owner finds out who you are. If you're not already in the database, well, you are now.
I just saw that. Is that what you're talking about, Raymond?
Well, a little bit later, he says he doesn't know where it's from, so he has to figure out the orientation of the laser coming. So he did some kind of put something in there, and then when the guy shot him again, you can see where it's coming from when there's dust in the air or dirt or what he did. You'll get there. You'll see it.
We also find out that the Cold War happened in this world or this universe.
Oh, good.
Or it either happened or it's still happening. Because, well, we know that there are people who are from the Soviet Union. We know that the Second World War happens because of Hero's dad. We don't exactly know how the Cold War happens differently, but it doesn't seem like the U.S. won.
No, man, they fell apart. It's not even a country. Well, I don't know if we get there yet, but they talk about there are no rules or no laws.
Makes it
in this
weird that
country.
YT's mom works for the feds, but
It's like their own private. I mean, it's probably like the CIC, the Library of Congress. The feds are probably their own little like schnick. It's like all the other gangs in the world, like General Bob's. That's what that's what I feel. Because there's no overall authority. Everyone's got their own thing, their own burpclave. So if the feds had to find some kind of niche.
I guess so. We also see Raven's Harley, which has the weird sidecar. So this is like the start. I think this is the start of like foreshadowing what that is going to be.
Yeah, because I do make eye contact too. He's driving by and he says Raven looks at him.
Yeah, he's riding the Harley so slowly that he would certainly fall over if not for the sidecar. Occasionally, he gooses it forward with a flick of the fingers. Maybe one reason he looks.
Hey guys, thanks for letting me listen in. I just got done eating dinner and I'm gonna think this. So y'all have a nice night.
Later, Grant. You don't want to go to Voice 2 and hang out with Robocock?
I'm not gonna do that. All right, bye.
That's the quickest rejection ever.
Yeah. Have a good night, brother.
Grin's too polite to say what he's really feeling.
I don't know. Sometimes back in the day, I see him flip a couple times early on in our adventure here in Discord.
All right.
But anyways, yeah.
So there's a bit on page 152 towards the end, which I can never tell with this one if this is. I'm insulting the author and not Raymond, I swear. I feel like this book's world building is like it jumps in between like just absolute disconnected bullshit all the time, or it contradicts itself. So like these days, most states are fractulates or burvclaves, much too small to have anything like a jail or even a judicial system. So where the fuck were they taking YT?
To their own personal jail. But because their own.
There were two of them. There was the Clink and there was the nice one, and they were private security. So does that mean that the private security jail is like who's
private security jail? It's not like they don't have their own police force. I mean, it's probably just everything's privatized. That's what I feel. Every single thing. The feds are privatized. The jails are privatized. Everything's got its own. Everything's broken down so bad that in order to have anything, you have to privatize
So
it.
what? The jail's its own megacorp.
I bet it is. That's what I would get.
So who's paying for it, right? Like what makes one jail nice and one jail shit? And then if that's the case, what's this idea of like burb claves do their own like corporal punishments like flogging, confiscation, public humiliation, or they just brand a guy with a tattoo? Poor impulse control.
Yeah, and then they do that's their own inside justice.
Wonder what's
Then
stopping them from like conquering each other in constant war.
It doesn't seem like they're very nice to each other when they go when they're
teeter.
trying to like bang down each other's door to catch a guy in whatever it was, Neo Hong Kong.
That's true. Seems like they like isolationist where they don't.
But
Yes.
they're also ordering pizza from each other.
Yeah.
Well, you got to do business. I got to do business with Domino's if I want a pizza.
And they're not isolationist, but that's
Mini isolationist in their own sense. I mean, it's all corporations. That's what that's what I get from everything. It's all corporate.
I guess.
Even jail, they probably get paid by the guys who take in the jail, the enforcers.
So why
or
is
the
anyone?
city
Yeah,
cops.
but if you got a jail that you're paying to take your people, why are you putting tattoos on people's foreheads instead of sending them to jail?
Because they want to. They
Your
want to.
Berkeley community is too poor to send people to jail. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's just to me at all. That's not. I didn't write the book, so that's cool with me, brother. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe for their own burb claim, if like because they probably have, it's a big country. We're only talking about a small area, so maybe there's a bunch of white columns across the, white nationalist burb claims, a bunch of General Lees across the United States. I would think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I.
Regardless, we know that Raven's got a big tattoo on his forehead. Poor impulse control, because at some point he broke the law, and I guess this was before he was like the ultimate badass who could get away with anything.
I was gonna say that I have a problem with that. I was like, this dude's badass. How is he getting caught by anyone?
Yeah, I guess he wasn't always badass.
And he didn't also have his
pet nuke.
Yeah, I don't know if we got there. Yeah, we didn't.
Well, we know he's got a fancy sidecar. There was a bit at the end of this chapter that I did think was cute, which is YT talking with Hero. So this guy Raven shows up. Hero gives YT a call. He goes, "You got to keep an eye on this guy." So YT tells Hero, "The problem with you hackers that you never stop working." That's what a hacker is, Hero says. "I'll keep an eye on this Raven guy too," she says. "Sometime when I am working." Then she hangs up on him. Like,
and this Shoop.com says, note about the tattoo. Some states dole out quick and dirty punishments when someone transgresses inside of their boundaries. Raven must have angered someone, to win that tattoo.
Yeah, he must have.
I mean, he definitely did. They're going to put that on his head.
Yeah.
I wonder if murder's illegal in this world too. I'm sure it is. If to a point where the cops say no.
I don't know. There's no judiciary.
Yeah.
And I guess no one privatized the court.
No, they must not have.
They privatized the jail, not the court. I don't know.
Well, you can't make any money off that. So that's why the own states do their own thing.
All right. Anything else for chapter 15?
Yeah, and that's what I got too with the last to keep a last keep YT to keep an eye on Raven. Let's see.
Hey, Panic, welcome back.
At the disco. Cool.
All right. Cap, anything else for 15?
Nope, I think you guys got everything. That's good.
Alrighty, on to 16. More stuff with Raven. I've got literally 2 notes in this chapter. Oh yeah, this is Sushi K's rap. Is it?
Oh jeez.
Yeah. Yep, this is Sushi K's rap. The important part about this one is that just like in the real world, East Asia loves U.S. ghetto culture. It pains me deeply that you should feel the need to apologize when you have given me an opportunity that any Nipponese rapper would give anything for to perform my humble works before an actual homeboys from the ghettos of LA. Sushi K's dream. And then I love how his rap afterwards is a diss track.
I listened to it twice because they actually use like the reader uses an Asian accent in it.
Yep. It's heavy.
And isn't Raven making? We're finding out Raven's making a deal with the Crips about the briefcase in this episode, and they use a Geiger counter to see.
Yep, we find out there's a Geiger counter. That's 156. The Crips listen to the student, but keeps his eyes fixed on Raven. Nods his head a few times. Finally, pats the student on his shoulder, sends it back to the BMW. It was a Geiger counter.
Yeah, and it lights up Raven's motorcycle.
Probably.
All the notes I found with 3 different websites. Everything is very short. It must be a very short one.
Oh yeah, I went through it
This-
fast.
Yep.
And we find the body too, right? Lagos' body, and we find him split up.
Oh yeah, situation. Yeah.
Yes, Lagos is lying on the ground, sprawled across the tire track. He has been split open like a salmon. So he's been filleted or gutted.
And what I think it says, if I remember right, in some parts all the way to the spine.
Yep.
Jeez.
Begins as anus, runs up to his belly through the middle of his sternum, all the way to the point of his jaw. Not just superficial. Not just a superficial slash. It appears to go all the way to his spine in some places. The black nylon straps that hold his computer system to his body have been neatly cut where they cross the midline. So it's not quite the full anime thing where you just slash straight through the computer. But we're almost there.
Yeah.
All right, Cap. What was your favorite line from Sushi K's rap?
It was midway through. It was where is it? I need to get it right. Come on, where is it? It was something. My favorite line was about the lizard. I can't find it now. Hold on. Stand by. Fire breathing lizard. Yeah, that was my favorite line. Gorjiro.
Oh, he's a dragon.
Yeah, he's my always big time hero. I love lizards, so that's great. That was my
Yeah,
favorite.
you guys should hear it in audio. It's brutal.
I
This
heard
is
it,
how he
yeah.
really raps.
Fire breathing lizard.
Yeah.
Gojira.
You
He's
guys,
always my
listen,
big
piece of
time.
rhymes, but he's like, I'm Sushi K. I'm here to.
Yep. Here to say, I like to rap
said
in a
people love
different
him.
way. Look
Yeah.
at number one in every city. Sushi K rap has almost pretty. My special talking of remarkable words. It's not the stereotype bucktooth nerd. My hair is big as a galaxy because I attain greater technology.
Well, so the book
That's
is written
great.
exactly how that's right on.
Yep.
Nice.
It's written in like little couplets.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so coming to America now, rappers trying to start a row. Say, stay in Japan, please. Listen, we can't handle competition. I love this, right? So he's there, he's talking to Hero. He's like, it's like my biggest dream to like rap to the American audience, right? And then he starts rapping to the American audience, and the entire rap is just like, you guys suck, I'm awesome.
Sushi K.
And then it's one of the later chapters. It just goes like someone throws like a can of beer. At, like,
Yes, it bounces off his forehead. Yeah.
So that was 16. Best chapter in the book. Okay. So chapter 17 is like an entire side story. It's this kid, Jason Breckenridge, joining the Uncle Enzo's Pizza Mafia.
And they I don't know if they talk about is how big he is. Like he stopped doing steroids at 15. So like that, and they mentioned that at the very beginning when YT was doing that the van that flipped over. Apparently, that's a big thing people do. Young kids love doing roids and drugs at a young age.
I guess so. No one's got anything better to do.
Yeah, I mean it's a dystopian world. There's probably a lot of danger out there.
So this one threw me, and I was looking for like 15 minutes to try and make it make sense to my half Asian brain. So they're bragging about Jason Breckenridge and his GPA of 2.9567. And I was just like,
Yeah.
all right, so in like 92, was GPA measured at a 3 or something? Are they trying to say that he's like really smart? I couldn't find anything for this. I was finding was like, no, GPA was always out of like 4.0. Like when I was in school, I know like some people had like
Yeah.
5.0 stuff because of like I think it was university classes at that time. But all they're saying here is that it's like a B average student. And again, my Asian shit. So it's like, okay, so this guy's like borderline stupid.
Well, he's just 2.0 in the future is huge. As he's not talking about 1992. He's just saying how bad the world is. Like someone writing Idiocracy back in 2000.
So
They understand that.
so we had hyperinflation with currency, but grades had a
Yeah.
deflation.
Oh yeah. He probably knows because I just watched a story of a girl who graduated with honors and she's fucking illiterate, and now she used text to speech in order to pass with honors, and she fucking can't read.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, it was an actual news article, news story on like Fox, local, some kind of local news in Baltimore area, of course. There's an immigrant who came here and it's like now she can't read. Now she can't get a job. She's like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to read English and write it if you need a job. She's like, I got failed. They failed me. Yeah, they did, baby. No one left behind. So Neil predicted the future.
Yes, so. So he goes to University of Illinois Business School. He's got his fancy GPA. He's got all the other stuff, and he's going to go work for the pizza man.
Yeah.
So there's a line here, 167, where he's talking with one of the guys, Mr. Caruso. And Caruso's going, they're all
Caruso, I
nips,
love that guy.
Mr. Caruso. They're all nips, Mr. Caruso said. And you know why I said that? Not because I'm a fucking racist. Because in 1992, being racist is still bad. Because I'm not. Because to them, to these people, the nips, we're all foreign devils. That's what they call us. Foreign devils. How do you like that? This sounds like Trump.
He nailed it.
This sounds Trumpian. This is perfect. Like you could do it with the hand gestures and everything. But just like the cadence, all of that. I think even in the audio, when they were doing the cadence, he does like all that stuff. Like, I'm not racist. They're racist to us.
Yeah. He totally believes everything he says.
Yeah, so Jason, and I think this is when he's talking about whether or not he wants to join the Caruso, like the mafia family, or if he wants to go and work for whatever Japanese company.
I think it was General Lee's, if I wasn't
Was it-
mistaken.
Mr. Lee's
Yeah.
Greater Hong Kong, because I'm really interested
yeah.
in high tech. Yep. So this is the, oh no, 92. So this is like this is probably after like the Japanese scare, as far as like, so like the reason why cyberpunk always has like the Japanese motifs is because in the 90s, and I guess the 80s, Japan's like auto industry was booming. And the fear was that like Japan is going to like overwhelm the world. So that's why like everyone's doing like martial arts, everyone's like got samurai swords. Like there's a bunch of like cyber ninjas, like all of that stuff is like the motif. And usually if like China is featured in like one of those sort of settings, it's like China is the smaller one and Japan is the dominant one, which is sort of funny how that ended up playing out in, real world.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really bullies back in the early, mid 1900s.
I don't know if they were bullies.
They thought they were going to be somebody.
They were winning.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They were bullies. They're kicking butt.
How many Japanese cars do you see on the road?
Too many. No, not too many. And I used to sell cars, and they're always the best. You get a Honda, Toyota, and you're good for like 300K.
Yeah. Anyway, the one that I found out, or I thought was funny out of this one was that they're calling them all nips, and I mean the Korean War has to happen in this one because Vietnam happens, and the word of the day for them was gook. So I don't know, we're missing our butt pejoratives, and I don't like it.
And yeah, he was also like Jason was trying to be, they're not all the same, sir. It's like the game right, they're the same. Like what you were saying earlier.
According to the Italian guy, yeah, or the
Yeah.
guy working for the Italian guys. And then they talk about it a little bit more later, where it's like the Japanese mafia. Tell me something, Jason. You ever hear anyone describe one thing as the Sicilian Yakuza? Huh? Or describe our thing as the Sicilian Yakuza. They never say the Sicilian Yakuza. You know why? Why is that, sir? And like he turns him around and he's looking at a giant statue of Uncle Enzo. He goes, because there's only one son, only one, and you can be a part of it. Like be something greater than yourself. Join the Pizza Man. Oh.
I agree. Join Pizza Man.
Yeah.
And that's a fairly short
So
episode.
it's a short chapter, and besides just like it's just this snapshot of life of Jason Breckenridge, but it ends with like Uncle Enzo sends him a special task to get YT to go to where Enzo is, and Jason sees the note, and he's like, "High priority! I got to do this myself. Uncle Enzo wants to see me."
Yeah.
And then he goes, and whoever's there, like to receive him, is like, "You fucked up. He doesn't want to see you."
That's like he's known as that guy. He said, "Remember me as that guy." When he talks to down the road,
Yep.
Someone asks his name. He's like, doesn't matter what my name is." Yeah, I for some reason I thought Caruso was the glass eye guy. No, the glass eye guy is fucking. He's cool. He plays the part. I like him.
Oh, no. So
You're not gonna bob your head. You're not gonna say anything. You're just gonna listen, and you're gonna be lucky to leave her alive.
and I'm sorry, this chapter doesn't even end with Jason actually going to the place. It just ends with him like getting the high priority thing that
okay.
he's got to do himself, and he's all hyped up to go because he's like, Uncle Enzo wants to see me. That's why he put it in this high priority call and sent it directly to me to get it delivered. I'm not going to trust some skateboarding punk.
Yeah, no cure. He's gonna because I'm important.
Yeah,
No,
so
buddy. We'll find
so
out.
17, funny chapter. Was it better than Sushi K's rap though?
No.
Yep. All right.
No way in hell. Sushi K's rap is top notch.
All right.
It's
On
like
to
the top
chapter
3.
18.
Yup.
What happens in 18? It's still about the mafia, because the only line I picked out of it is, the mafia, you've got a friend in the family, and relax, you're entering a mafia watch neighborhood, and Uncle Enzo forgives and forgets.
That's true.
That's like Enzo is basically taking on the role of a church here.
Yeah, they sound very family oriented. Like they're like how it was back in the day. How it was supposed to be, I guess.
Uncle Enzo reckons that with the mafia's emphasis on loyalty and traditional family values, they can sign up a lot of these entrepreneurs before they become narco-Colombian citizens, or nar-Colombian. So there's like nar-Colombians and Jamaicans, and the implication there is that they're basically savages that'll like chop people up. And by contrast, the family is like the nice choice.
Yeah. They care about you.
And with Breckenridge, was the idea also that the Sicilian mafia was more like multiracial, because they were hiring, or they did hire Hero technically.
Did I lose you guys again?
May have.
Maybe. I don't know, Cap. Did you get that one? Like,
Yeah, I got you.
The mob is like more multiracial or more multi-ethnic.
Yeah, it's a very interesting take. I was assuming they were like, and what's the word for it? I guess anti-immigrant.
Insular.
Yeah.
more racist, like
Yeah,
everyone
more
else seems to
racist,
be.
because like at the beginning they got this snapshot of like white only neighborhoods and stuff. So I was assuming, I guess the mob would be the same way, just because like Italians. But no, interesting.
Like, I'm not sure if I don't know if they say it one way or another though, as like expressly as far as like we're better, like we're better than the Yakuza because we don't just hire Asian people or something like that. And then I guess even if Breckenridge thinks that he's got a chance at joining Mr. Lee's Greater Hong Kong, so maybe they're not exactly entirely racist either.
Yeah,
They also welcome Hiro, but Hiro's half, uh, well, half Japanese.
that's true.
I had to turn off my Wi-Fi in order to come back here. It wasn't letting me press any buttons or anything.
Ooh, that's weird. Well, I can hear you
Yeah.
now. Can you hear
Yeah,
us?
yeah, 100%.
Okay. So when I was talking about with Cap was for like the racial segregationist vibe that you get from like the different groups, whether it's the Yakuza or the Italian pizza mafia, is that they're like very like multi or mono-ethnic. They're like a monolith that way.
Yeah.
But Breckenridge thinks he has a chance of getting employed by Mr. Lee's Hong Kong.
Yeah, I think that's what Cap meant earlier about maybe not isolationist, but like in that, like the word term you just used, they're super, the white columns, generally all these own burb claves are just super with their own race and own people. It's a big theme here.
I'm jumping back to chapter 17 because I found a funny one. Jason just laughed appreciatively. After all the good things we did for them. But here in America, JC boy, we're all foreign devils, aren't we? We all came from someplace else, except for the fucking Indians. You ain't gonna interview over the Lakota Nation, are you?
I love Miss Uncle Enzo's people, man.
Caruso?
The mafia. Do they have a name, or is it just
Well, this guy
the
specifically is
mafia?
Caruso.
No, I mean like like their group. I think it's just
I
mafia.
think
If I'm
they're
not
just the
mistaken.
mafia. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I would join the mafia if I lived in that day and age.
And join the pizza delivery guys.
No, because I don't want to die if I'm behind.
That's true. That's terrible.
But you know what? That might be. Maybe that's the only way to be part of the mafia because, like they said, they own their business is pizza.
I guess. But
Which
then
you can
again,
make the
there is
pizzas.
Jason. Yeah, there's the guys making the pizza. Jason seems to get hired as like an executive or like a low level one.
Yeah. He opened up a one and like we'll find out later on next chapter or not yet. It is 21. Yeah, when the we meet the glass-eyed guy.
Yeah.
We don't give a shit about you in the fucking middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So chapter 18. You got a friend in the family. You're in a mafia protected neighborhood. No way, Jose. Uncle Enzo holding up one hand to stop Uzi totting Hispanic scumbag. Behind him stands a
Oh yeah.
pan-ethnic phalanx of kids and grannies, resolutely gripping baseball bats and frying pans. Now, there's definitely like a giant racial bend to all the stuff going on here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%, brother. Yeah.
Which makes Hero's status is interesting in this whole thing.
Yeah, well, that's why he lives with the the U stop. He's half black, half Asian. He's just not involved. He's not part of the affinity groups.
Yep.
There you go.
He's
That's
got
the word. I think infinity.
affinity groups, yeah. He's got an interesting place in the progressive stack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, yep. So this is chapter 18 is when Jason makes the delivery himself. So we're just back to back as far as like Jason gets the thing and he's gonna go by himself to deliver the very important message.
Yeah, 19's fun. I love 19.
and this is the bit that you liked. Shut up for the rest of this conversation. You don't say anything. When I tell you what you did wrong, you don't say you're sorry because I already know you're sorry. And when you
Wait,
drive
that's
out of here
21.
alive, no, this is 18.
So Jason drives so he can latch on to. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
21 is when Jason helps her, White T. That's right.
I didn't even know that they met. I must have missed that one too.
Yeah. Well, remember she's got a delivery to make, and next thing you
Yeah.
know, his Buick comes by and he latches onto, and he takes her exactly where she's going
I think
to the Mafia Club.
Yeah. So that's 18.
Okay, yeah. That's why I love the Glass Eye Guy. And 18 would meet the Glass Eye Guy. Beautiful.
And 18 is super short, so this is just the bit of like Jason makes the delivery himself, and he was not supposed to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love the Glass Eyes part. Like, don't say a word. You're lucky to get out of here alive.
Uncle Enzo's not happy.
Don't even nod. Don't do nothing.
um, I missed this one too. This is funny. Jason can't tell which eye is the real one. He shudders and stiffens like a puppy in a deep freeze. And the man says, Jason Breckenridge. And Jason reminds him, the iron pumper. And he goes, shut up.
Yeah.
It's like Jason feels like he's big shit.
So good.
Oh, he thought he was someone for a second there.
Yep. Yeah. We don't want your. That's crap. We don't want your fucking documents. We don't care about you and your fucking franchise out in the middle of nowhere. All we wanted was the courier. The job said that the delivery was supposed to be made by one particular courier who works in your area.
You couldn't read the fucking paper.
No. Smart kid goes to the University of Illinois. Can't read shit. Nice.
Well, he didn't bother reading it. He's like,
No,
he
no,
got too excited. He jizzed his pants immediately.
No, he read it. He read the part where it says this is very important.
Yeah. Right, but I don't know if he made all the way down the White Tea part, like send this, or did he?
Did. I think he did
Okay.
because he says like this is too important for any courier. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
One thing's for sure, this is not a delivery to be entrusted to any courier or any punk on a skateboard. Jason is going to trundle his Oldsmobile into Compton personally to drop this stuff off.
See, okay.
Yeah. So, on to 19. Lagos is dead. Mental note, whether or not Raven intended to take on a bunch of Crips and Enforcers single-handedly tonight, he didn't even bother to pack a gun. Raven's just a badass dude.
Fucking making fucking spears out of bamboo.
Yep.
And throwing like a champ.
Down below, Sushi K pirouettes spastically as a beer bottle crumbs off his forehead. Yeah, so
Sushi spastically.
Sushi K's performance is not going well. Raven is starting to murder people, and YT has disappeared to chase after him. And then this is also T-Bone and Squeaky.
That's right. The driver's T-Bone.
And then these guys are all enforcers, I think.
Yeah, because they're not part of the Crips.
Yeah.
Yet. We don't meet the... Well, this is when they start chasing them. Yeah, this is the big fight scene. Kind of a big fight scene.
I don't even think... Oh, there's the fight where Raven is making the spears out of bamboo, and he kills Squeaky, I think.
And the Crip guy is shooting his gun and just trying to... Or it's T-Bone, yeah. T-Bone is the guy, he's the Crip. T-Bone is the Crip who's after Raven. That's why he has the Uzi or whatever he has.
Yeah, T-Bone says, I'm a Crip, we don't forget nothing.
Yeah.
So I guess there's some professional courtesy between the Crips and the Enforcers.
I think so. And Squeaky's cool. I like Squeaky. He's pretty legit. Because at the end of the chapter, when he was, was he chasing? When was Raven was leaving? Yeah, because Whitey doesn't join the crime scene until 20.
Yeah, YT tries chasing after Raven, but she gets lost, I guess, because she's just out of this chapter.
He gets too far in the. She loses him, and she goes and gets food for the next chapter.
Smart kid.
And
Hmm.
Squeaky's chasing the. I thought Squeaky was chasing Raven, but Squeaky's like, no one's fucking with Raven. He's actually chasing the Crip who got his bottom job mangled.
And who's T-Bone's just cut in half or something. He went down low and
They got the
slashed up
spear
and
in him.
down the insides of T-Bone's thighs, which are now laid open
Oh.
all the way to the bone. In doing so, he put
Oh.
great lengthwise rents into both of T-Bone's femoral arteries, and his
All the
entire
thighs,
blood
yeah.
supply dropped out of him, like slicing the bottom
like
of a
the bottom
styrofoam
of a cup.
Yep.
Yes. And then one dude gets a spear in him, and he runs out into the parking lot, like squirreling around, like screaming. And as the bamboo is hitting off of cars.
Yep.
Yeah, this episode definitely shows us like Raven's badass dude for the most part, able to do that.
And for whatever it matters, I think Hero says that he thinks Raven is Asian.
Yeah. He first time he sees him when he gets underneath the light of the lamp, and he turns around. Oh yeah, which Hero thinks is Asian. Okay.
Yeah, so that's chapter 19. Raven is confirmed badass. More importantly, someone threw a beer at Sushi K.
More importantly.
On to chapter 20. 20 is
It's
like
when
where it just spells out for us the big reveal that the reason they protect Raven is because Raven's got a hydrogen bomb hooked up to his brain.
and where I find out that the enforcers, for them, not the Crips, but they are all about enforcing peace. Whereas they, you got to protect Raven because otherwise he's going to fucking blow everyone up.
Yep.
If you kill him.
Why should anyone
And I remember
protect
hearing that point.
Raven?
I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Squeaky smiles.
They actually care.
How they care about not getting nuked. Squeaky smiles as though he just crossed the border into the realm of kidding around. He's a sovereign, so declare war on him. It's not a good idea to declare war on a nuclear power. Okay, I'm going to tell you this so you don't go and cause any more trouble. Raven's packing a torpedo warhead that he boosted from an old Soviet nuke sub. It was a torpedo that was designed to take out a carrier battle group with one shot. A nuclear torpedo, that funny-looking sidecar Raven's got on his Harley. Well, it's a hydrogen bomb, ma'am, armed and ready. The trigger's hooked up to an EEG. Trove's embedded in his skull. If Raven dies, the bomb goes off. So when Raven comes into town, we do everything in our power to make sure the man feels welcome. Hero's just gaping. YT has to step in on his behalf. Okay, speaking for my partner and myself, we'll stay away from him.
And that was after she was like, she was real sarcastic talking to Hero about, yeah, I'll stay away from him, and Hero said, or the narrator says, she said that in a sarcastic tone.
People
She wants you to know that she's lying.
Can you hear me?
No.
Because I can't hear you.
Okay.
No? Yeah, how's it going? Can hear you. Alrighty. Sorry, Orange. We're talking about a book. On to chapter 21. Unless, Cap, you've got something else for 20.
No, I thought that was really interesting that he's a bomb. That's great.
Yeah. It is fucking interesting, bro.
Could you say he's the bomb?
I suppose you
Hey!
could. Nope.
The
Have a
Dunching.
nice evening.
Take care. Alright, on to 21. This is YT going to meet Uncle Enzo.
Yeah, I like this one.
So this
She's a ramp dog or whatever is waiting at the very beginning. She's just chilling on the ramp, waiting for someone to come.
She's going to spend all afternoon being a ramp turd.
Ramp turd, yeah.
The surf is always up on the Harbor Freeway, which gets her from downtown into Compton. So I guess the cars are like her waves.
That makes sense.
She wants to poo in something big and fast, so she can't use the standard trick of ordering a pizza to her destination and then pooning a delivery boy because none of the pizza chains deliver to this neighborhood. So even in the future, Compton is still Compton.
Compton is still Compton, yeah.
So she'll have to stop off at the off-ramp and wait hours and hours for a ride, a ramp turd.
And when she gets there, after she harpoons Jason, does she recognize Jason yet? Oh, and this is the white tee does not necessarily know who he is. That's right, she doesn't know yet. Jason drives by, so she can latch onto him and take her exactly where she's going.
Yeah, they've never even met at this point.
No, yeah. What we both said, she's so spunky, and when she meets the young mafia guys, and even Enzo at the beginning, that you can't help falling for his niceness, but she's very, very, I guess typical 15-year-old woman in the future.
Yes. Typical
Spicy.
15-year-old kid.
Yeah. And they bond over the fact that they're both monitored by feds.
I guess. She runs into like the mafia youth. Who are, I guess, like prep kids. She's not a fan.
No, she's not.
And when and then when
just
she's
fun talking here.
It's all good. So when she goes to them and says that she wants to go inside, they're trying to say like, "Who the hell are you?" And then she can turn around and say like, "I'm a big deal because Enzo wants to talk to me."
It says here she verbally spars with the young mafia. A few young mafia members are going inside.
And the young mafia are abbreviated to the Yomas, YOMA.
Yomas. Oh, young mafia. Okay. I like the question that Uncle Enzo asked her guys about the why doesn't she wear a helmet with all all the risk her coveralls are so protective, why not wear a helmet?
There's something like she's wearing something high tech so that she like doesn't land on her head, I think, right?
Well, no, she wears the suit blows up like if you're snowboarding in the Alps and you get an avalanche, they give you a big old Swedish relax. She gives you it blows up around her head, so her head bounces inside. She doesn't have to worry about her head getting hit.
Okay, so she's wearing an airbag.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. And same thing in Uncle because they can't hear very well. So
boiling poop.
Okay, I'm gonna bounce you, bud. And then Uncle Enzo's like
I can't hear you.
Like he knows. All right, Orange. Hold on, let me see here. And good day. Like he was in Vietnam, he did wear a helmet for the same reason as you got to be able to hear because he joined the special forces. Because he's like, fuck you, Dad.
Like how it's not that she's too like cool for a helmet. She actually has a valid reason, like it's because she needs to hear. So
yeah,
I like that about her. Pretty cool.
I thought, dude, at first initially I thought she was gonna be like, I don't need one, but then she's smarter than we think.
Yeah.
Yep. You're covered from head to toe in protective padding, so why don't you wear a helmet? The suit's got a cervical airbag that blows up when you fall off the board, so you can bounce on your head. And then helmets feel weird because they affect your hearing. And then Enzo he talks about how like he had to hear in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Volunteer.
Do you guys know about the snowboarding, skiing ones in big mountains for avalanches?
I did not know.
No.
Yeah, you wear it so if an avalanche comes, it'll keep you on the surface so you don't get sucked into the snow in the avalanche. It keeps you on top of the avalanche.
Oh, that one I think I have heard of. Yeah, avalanche, like airbag.
Yeah, that's what I thought of when when I read this. I thought of that because that's the only I think, as far as I know, our technology is the closest thing we have in today's world. But yeah, they had a great conversation. It was nice. She's really struck by him, and he sounds like a nice dude.
The pizza Don is a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm spitting by him too.
Yeah. And
Sure,
then
I don't.
so it's the idea here really just that Enzo wanted to talk to YT because she delivered the one pizza. You think that checks out, or you think there's Raymond is right ahead and knows this, so
Well, yeah, but even reading ahead, I think because what we know about him is he'll give the people to Italy, if he fucks up and stuff. So I think it's legit. I think he's just being a nice guy.
Yeah.
That'd be my opinion.
I'll take it
So
the
let me
same
turn this
way.
down. Yeah, because he
And-
treats her really nice and politely too, and everything.
Yep. And then he gives her the dog tags, which
That's
probably
a
aren't
big deal.
bugged.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's also like a real big deal. Like my dog tags. Geez, if I was gonna give them up, it's good for her.
All right. So that's the end of 21. Enzo said, "Take care of yourself. Be good to your mother. She loves you."
That was nice.
Sweetest line in the book. Oh, and yeah, this is also where YT talks about how her mom has the bruise from the blood pressure cuff, and it makes her feel I don't know if she says weird or scared, or like freaks her out.
I see that what you sent me. Yeah, the owl pride or Cal pride. The bags that put you on top of the avalanche. Is there a line in there that she says it? The reason why she had to do it for 30 days straight
I don't
was it
think
because?
so.
No. Well, no. I think there's a reason because there was some kind of hiccup, or she said like the wrong thing, or she said something to her boss wrong that they didn't like her or her superior supervisor, and they're like, "Yo, we got to test you every single day now."
They say this part. It kind of freaks me out. YT says the fact that she works for the feds, the polygraph tests, they put a thing on her arm to measure the
Hello?
blood pressure. This 5 something manometer. It leaves a bruise around her arm for some reason. That kind of thing bothers me. Enzo says it should bother you. And the house is bugged, so when I'm home, no matter what I'm doing, someone else is probably
Never
listening.
mind, I can't hear you.
Enzo says, "Well, I can certainly relate
I'm
to
not
that," and they
muted,
laugh.
so
Yeah. But I don't see anything here about.
see you some other time.
Okay, I remember. Damn it. Maybe it's later on where they say that.
It might be later on.
Maybe.
I don't remember that either yet. They've talked about it twice now. I won't doubt them talking about it again.
Yeah. We'd learn more about her mother for sure.
Okay.
This is just fucking
And that was the end of
whatever.
this week.
Bye.
Orange, we hear you, bud. We're just talking. Oh, I didn't do it. Not it.
I didn't do it either.
Oh, good.
That was a good 10 chapters. It went fast. Chapters were small and then like 2 big ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll try to wait for you guys but it's just it's hard not so like I'm cooking and I want to listen to it, because I like the book a lot.
So what do you want me to do, Remy? Do you want me to assign the rest of the book? Get it done
No,
with?
no. Be here for 5 hours plus.
Yeah.
No, I like the 10 or so chapters that it's been working out.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're here today. Captain got here around 7, so still 2 hours long.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going too slow with the chats or if we're just covering everything. I'm having fun talking about it though, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, I'm chill.
Yeah.
Okay. So next one will be 22 to 30, 33 or 34. So 22 is page 205. 34 is page 307.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's only 100 pages? Yeah.
Well, that's how we've been doing it.
Okay. I dig it.